Lion face, ah, lemon face, ooh, lion face, ah, lemon face, ooh, lion face, ah, lemon face, ooh, break it down. Hey everybody, this is Mike Sparks. Welcome to the Sparklepony Roundup's Patch 5.4 Survival Guide. We've got a lot of information to go over, and I don't want to make this video like an hour long, so let's roll right into it with Justice and Valor points. Okay, so as you've probably seen by now, we're not getting a Valor point reset. It's not like it was in Cataclysm and in Wrath of the Lich King, where they turned Valor points into Justice points into gold, and so on. We haven't seen one of those this entire expansion, so it's not that shocking, especially with the revelation that there's not going to be any new Valor point gear for patch 5.4. They decided to go with the same model that they used in the Darkspear Revolution system. We'll get more into that later. But for those of you that have been capping your Justice and Valor, you will still be rewarded, provided that you actually still have things to get from the current vendors, as all Shadow Pen Assault gear is going to be greatly lowered in reputation requirement, and all of the 486, 489, or 96, 489 gear is going to be made available for Justice and have its rep requirements removed. So it's going to be really friendly to new alts that you've got coming up. It's going to be really helpful for those people that just never got that drop. And then on top of that, item upgrades are not going away at the beginning of this tier the way they did last tier. Those will still be available. So upgrade everything you get, because why not? So unless you've been living under a rock, you know 5.4 is the intended end of expansion and centers around the Siege of Orgrimmar raid, where we finally deal with Garrosh Hellscream. Got all the Cliff's notes on the raid right here. Let me give you a quick rundown. New LFR item level is 528, flex rate is 540, normal is 553. A minimum item level of 496 will be required for the LFR, and that will be released the second week of the patch. Flex raid will be available upon patch launch, as will normal mode. Heroic will obviously take at least a week to get into because people have to clear the normal first. Anybody getting caught up on your Rathian quest line, the Sigils of Wisdom and Strength will now drop from Throne of Thunder LFRs, as well as the first 8 bosses of the new raid. Now with the new raid, we will not be getting any new scenarios or 5-man content, unfortunately. However, we will be getting a brand new feature called Proving Grounds, which uses scenario technology. For those of you that have not been following what the Proving Grounds is, it's basically a way for you to learn a new role. So if you've always healed, now you'll be able to go into a solo queue and learn to DPS or learn to tank, if your class is capable of doing so, obviously. If you've always DPS'd and you have the capability to heal, now you have a safe place to kind of go learn to heal before you step into 5-mans. Now that can actually be a little bit intimidating. It's part of why I haven't healed quite yet. I'm looking forward to the Proving Grounds because I've got a whole bag full of Holy Paladin gear that just isn't getting used, and maybe now I'll finally have a way to learn to use that. The other big addition we're going to be seeing in patch 5.4 is the Timeless Isle. No, this is not another daily quest hub. I cannot stress that enough. Blizzard has been trying to drive that into people's heads, and they just don't seem to be getting it. There are hardly any quests out here. The ones that we do have are not repeatable. The main concept is we're just going out there and killing champions. The champions drop timeless coins. They drop armor tokens that you can redeem for 496 gear. They have a chance to drop a rare item called the Burden of Eternity, which will turn that 496 gear into 535 gear. There's also going to be 5 world bosses out there. The 4 August Celestials will test our strength. And there's a 5th boss that is a Yongle fire god named Ordos, who will be gated by the legendary cloak. I'm not a fan of the gating on the legendary. I know they want to make people feel special, but I just don't think a world boss is the way to do it. That's all I'm really going to say about that, because otherwise I'm going to go into a giant annoyed tangent. I started the tangent anyway, so we're just going to cut that whole bit out there. Moving on. Also on the Timeless Isle, we're going to see a Battle Pet tournament run by the August Celestials, which will reward a currency called Celestial Coins. These coins can be used towards various pet-related items that we've seen already, as well as new battle pets. Now, Timeless Coins, which I mentioned earlier when I first got into the Timeless Isle bit here, can be used towards various vanity items that they're offering, as well as the armor tokens for the 496 gear. We're also going to be seeing some new crafting mats for leather working, tailoring, engineering, and blacksmithing, which will lead to new craftable raid gear at the Siege of Orgrimmar level. Another cool little note on that is, for the first time in a while, leatherworking is actually getting a new bloodlust drum called the Drums of Rage. I don't do a whole lot of PvP, but I am going to give a quick overview of what's happening with PvP for the PvP players. How many times can I say PvP in 15 seconds? PvP, PvP. Let's just not do that. Okay. Obviously, the new arena season is starting with the new patch. And it's going to be interesting because this time around, arena teams are gone. That's right. No more tracking people down to sign them up. No more having to make sure that the members of your team are on just to get your 5v5 points or your 3v3s. Actually, that doesn't seem like it would be that hard to get people together for. I don't PvP. I'm bad at it. So arena teams are gone. You'll now be able to solo queue and just be paired with somebody, or you can queue up with your friends that you have on right at that moment and go straight into an arena. Speaking of arenas, there's going to be a tiebreak buff implemented for matches that go over 15 minutes called the Crowd Chose You. This buff is basically going to award the winning team mega damage, and it's going to be based on each player's lowest average health. So whoever consistently comes close to dying will be labeled as the losing player, and their team will not get the buff. I wish I could phrase that better, but once again, I don't PvP. If I missed anything, if you have any questions, or if there's something that you would just like to see me talk about a little bit, you can get a hold of me at either twitter.com/ponyzord or ponyzord.tumblr.com and click the Ask Me a Question button. You don't actually have to sign up for the website, so once again, I've said this several times in previous episodes. You don't want to have to sign up for anything, and you don't have a YouTube account to leave a comment down below. Tumblr's kind of the way to go. This has been a really awkward episode to film. I didn't get it out last week because I tried to bust my hand. So I think I'm just going to get out of here.